Hey,
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh my God, you're just glowing. Hello.
Thank you. So are you, Lorna?
Oh my God, Galia, I am so happy that you're coming to this event. It was actually funny. It was Wednesday night when you got your ticket, and I go to bed so early. I'm like a freaking grandma. So I didn't see it in the evening. And the next morning, I was finishing up my workout. It was like 7 in the morning, and I saw that you got your ticket. I'm like having a dance party in my basement. Andrew's still sleeping. I was so happy. So, first off, just congratulations. I'm so excited.
Thank you. I am excited too. It actually took me longer than I wanted to figure things out and finances and logistics. I still need to get my flight booked, but the important stuff I got it done and I was like really dead set on going. And I think it took me about a week to kind of like ponder on it and figure it out because Andrew mentioned it and he was like, I think you would be great and this and I mean I've known you as long as I have him and so um it was just one of those things that I needed to do and so I did.
Yes, yes. And have you been to like any in-person events before? Is this going to be your very first one?
This is gonna be my very first one. I was gonna go to Andrew's last one, but which is weird because it's closer to home, right?
Yes.
But things didn't quite line up and yeah, the whole logistics of it and just scheduling didn't quite work out and I really tried, but no, this is gonna be my first one, so I'm
Oh my
excited.
God. Yeah, what are you most excited about? This is going to be your first in-person event in Florida. Like, let's just say you're flying from Canada. Like, this is phenomenal. What are you most excited about?
Honestly, I think to get like the feels and the connection and like there's like I haven't done a retreat ever, but I've done other kinds of events like conferences for like family work and whatnot and other like artistic experiences in the past, but and I know that being in a room of like-minded people can be as powerful as doing the work,
Yes.
whatever the work involves. And so I think for the past couple of years at least, I would say like I've been craving for that and just because of how I started working with you guys and everything was offline because online, sorry. It's just been something that I've kind of I feel like I've been craving for a very long time and just like being in the room with other people, other women. I think it's going to be really powerful. I haven't seen that advertised really anywhere and just I'm excited to see and experience your program. Like I've been watching some of the videos of the other people that bought their tickets and they were just like their experiences and their stories were so inspiring and fascinating and because I could resonate maybe not with all of it but pieces from like everyone's like experiences or struggles or maybe where I was when I started the work. I could really relate to one person, but where I am now, I could relate a lot more with another person. And so I think like just experiencing that level of conversation and like shared experiences with other women, other people, um, it's gonna be so life-changing. And I'm a traveler at heart. I wasn't born here. So traveling isn't like a big thing for me, but just like traveling with this purpose in mind, it is going to be a first.
Yes, yes. And there is something so special about being in person. Like Zoom calls, like you've experienced the power of like how life changing it can be to have, a coach and work online. Like that is so transformative. But when you're actually like in the flesh of like, I can see you, I can feel you, like I can feel your energy, I can feel your heart, like, and it's everyone is just also so vulnerable and open to share. Like it's such a safe space, not just of like any random woman off the street. It's like these are women who truly value their health, their relationships, their confidence, their growth. And being around those other people who have the same values, it's like it's so hard to come by. Like you don't go to work and maybe feel that same level of connection, or even with family and friends. It's like it's not the same level of conversation. So yeah, it is going to be really powerful to be in the room. And I've always seen you, Galia, as someone who's so like longing for growth. Like, you've been on your journey for how long now? It's been like 4 or 5 years.
Or like probably close to five, 4 or 5, I'd say. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like you're always hungry for growth. Like you're hungry to like just continue stepping into the greatest version of yourself. And I'm curious, like, has that always been a thing of yours? Like, have you always like had this like desire in your heart for like growth and to step into this badass version of yourself, or has it just been within the past like few years?
No, and I think it stems just from being a dreamer and like
Hmm.
experiencing different things. When I was very little, I got the opportunity to go to the UK for a conference. And I was a spokesperson at that conference. And I think that trip kind of like opened my eyes to to everything that was out there. As you know, I'm an expat here and I love it, and my heart is Canadian, like 100%. But in that trip, I just like like it opened my eyes, and it opened myself to something else. And so from like a young age, I think I was always hungry for more. Um and that I don't think ever left me, whether I was pursuing one thing or another. I always want to see what else is there, and I think it was up until I moved to Canada the first time, not which was what, like over 10 years ago, um that I truly found myself, like who I was outside of my family, my surroundings, people's ideas of me, like all these labels that people put on me that I might have consciously or subconsciously believed myself, but I didn't truly understand who I was at heart until I kind of like stepped away from that. And I had a couple of years under my belt at that point of like traveling and all that. So I would say this hunger for growth stemmed from wanting to understand myself better. And during the pandemic, or because of the pandemic, it triggered like something, like I didn't want to get stuck, and I didn't want to come out the other end worse than I
Yeah.
went in.
Yep.
And like there was a huge health piece in my family back then. So I was like, no, I refuse to get there. I want to work on myself. And honestly, the work has been like not linear. There's been a lot of dips and valleys, like yeah, hills and valleys. And I had a pretty big health scare. And honestly, like working with Andrew, like I am so grateful to both of you because I understood like beyond like the like self-love and like the food piece, there were pieces that even doctors couldn't like help me understand, and like I could understand my body better, and I was able to rebuild my body because of the work that I was doing with Andrew, because of the conversations that I was having with you guys. There were pieces about like inflammation and like things that I never in a million years experienced or thought about. Not that I didn't care about them, but I wasn't experiencing them. And I didn't understand like truly how much that can affect and like the hormonal piece, which
Yes.
is huge, and like all of these things. So the growth has always been from like I think a want to be better, learn more, understand more, um, be able to show up as my truest self, to be, yeah,
It just
to
feels so
be,
good hearing you say that. I'm like, yes, more people need to experience this.
to be unapologetically me. And I would say the past like probably year and a bit has been probably the toughest, even more so than the pandemic, just from experiences at work
Yep.
and people, and like just this work has helped me to stay grounded and kind of like come out from really feeling in the dumps a couple of times. And so like I was talking about the retreat with my dad. I'm really close to him, and he was like, "Do you think you need it? Because like you've always like worked with them. Like, what is it about this thing that attracts you so much?" And I was like, "Well, like there was this one event that I was supposed to go to. I couldn't make it. I really want to go to this one, and like it's just that for me, I've understood that it doesn't start with food. The food is the piece is the last um factor in the equation for me. For
Yeah.
me, it's about the mental health piece for me is like the primary element, and it does it does trickle down to the food piece and activity, but if I'm not solid
Yep.
mentally, I can't move.
Yes. Yes.
I'm not there for myself. So
Exactly.
understanding all of that, I think came through working with you guys and really um kind of like facing parts of me that I was always like too scared to see or to acknowledge because I saw them. Like
Yeah. We're
I
just gonna
think that
pretend I didn't see that over there.
yeah, so no, definitely like it's one of those things that either yeah, you live like that
Yep.
and you keep that status quo. I have people in my life that live like that. I have family members that live like that and just because like how much I move and I travel and like the type of life that I want to lead and things that I've experienced in the past little while, like I just don't want to stay um in that space, mental, spiritual, physical. And so I think this event is a step in the opposite direction, the direction that I that I do want to be in and that I want to continue in and yeah, still keep doing the work and show as my best self every day.
Yeah, I love that you mentioned about like this status quo because I think a lot of people are living a good life, but it's like
Mhm.
I don't want to live a good life. It's like I want to live an extraordinary life. Like just like you said, I want to see what I'm capable of. And yes, you have come so far with your physical health, your mental health. Like you've come so far, but there's always new levels. It's like you can always get to know yourself a little bit better. It's like, ooh, how can I be even more confident in my job? How can I love myself even more? Like there's always that next level. And that's why I created this event. You know, the people that are all coming, I see you guys as like badasses that are like doing really incredible things. You care about yourself, you value your health, but it's like we can always take things to the next level. And like that's what I'm most excited about because it's like, no, I could just stay here. Like I could just keep working with Andrew online. Like I could, or it's like I can really take everything to the next level, get my ticket, fly to Florida, be in the freaking room, and meet an even greater version of myself, which is so beautiful.
Yeah, no, and one of the biggest things, and Andrew knows this, I tell him like every once in a while, and like it's like this thing. The first, I would say, 4 to 6 months that we started working together, one of the first things that blew my mind, like besides like the weight loss, was understanding the value of self-care, self-love. Like that wasn't part of my vocabulary. I didn't really understand what
Wow.
it was
Mm.
until I kind of slowly started like breaking it down and like I understood the value of taking time for myself and doing all these things. And come many years later, the only reason I'm mentally back to where I want to be and as strong as I am is because of the self-care and the mental health piece and wonderful people in my life. And it's really funny because like certain conversations that I've had with him, I've started having with a couple of my friendships, and it's really interesting how kind of life sort of aligns, and you start, I don't know, maybe it's the law of attraction that you start like noticing patterns. So you start having the same conversations or the same thing from different points of view. And so it's it's been one of those things, but I've had really terrible people in my life lately, and having you guys um just uplifting me and just like I'm like I would say in the past 10 years you're one of the most important people that I've met.
Wow. Wow.
I truly mean
A
that.
lot. That means a lot. But, Andrew and I think the same of you too. Like, as soon as I put on this event, I'm like, you need to speak to Gallia. I'm like, she'd be the perfect fit because I've just like, we've seen your evolution. It's like we've seen everyone starts from somewhere. Like you said, what self-care, like what are those words? Like, what does that even mean? And do I sit in a bubble bath and just like chill all day? Like, what does that even mean? Right. But
Yeah.
like self care is like boundaries, protecting your energy, speaking up for yourself, no more people pleasing. Like, self care goes so much more beyond just like, taking a day off of work or, like I said, sitting on the bubble bath. It's like boundaries, protect your energy. It's like I always say, like, it's like seeing yourself as the most valuable human. If you see
Mhm.
yourself as like, I am so valuable, these relationships, you can't come with me. These people, no, you just can't come with me anymore. And it's like setting up those boundaries to free up your energy, free up your space, which is the most beautiful thing. And that's health. Who you surround yourself with, like
Mhm.
your boundaries, your energy, your time, like that's actual health right there. So it goes so much deeper than what's on your plate and how much protein are you eating. It's like that's all great, but it's like there's so much more to health and being this badass that we can really uncover.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm curious, was there any hesitation in coming? Like, was there any hesitation in like, well, I don't know, like I'm already doing coaching with Andrew. Like, do I really need to go? Or like the flights? Like, was there any hesitation of getting to purchase your ticket?
No. No, more curiosity. I would say hesitation in terms of like, can I actually pay for this type of thing? But no, and even my dad, whom I mentioned, like he even understood before, and he said it even before I even asked the question. He was like, is this kind of like the next step? This is gonna help you, right? This is gonna take you to where you wanna be, where you were. He kind of phrased it, but even better because like we're not the people we were when I first started this journey. And he was like, you. you need to do this. And I was like, I want to do this. And so he definitely said, okay, no, I'll help you with this and I'll support you with this if you want. And I'm really grateful that my family's very supportive, but I'm really close with my dad and he's followed my journey through the very beginning and he's seen the physical changes because my weight loss was pretty like the whole thing was pretty wild just because like I didn't start my journey with you guys. Like I had started like decades before and until I started working with you guys, I started seeing the changes, physical, mental, spiritually and all of that. And so no hesitation whatsoever. It was more like can I actually I need to figure this out because I couldn't go to the last one and I need to get myself to this one and how do I make this happen? And then the work piece, which is kind of like a of contention for me because I'm in the midst of making a not a career change but shifting back to where I want to be, which is huge for me because that has been one of like my biggest things that I can do my work well, but it's not it doesn't feed my soul. And I'm that's like just shifting back to where I want to be. I now have the freedom, just have to make sure that I position myself well and that I just make that change and basically I just figured like can I take the time? Can I make this work? Can I just kind of like take off? And I was like, you know what? I don't care. I'll make it work. I'll figure something out. But no, it's even if I make the shift by the time I actually have to fly out, I'll just be like, I have this thing. I've had it booked for months.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm off on Friday. I'll see you back on Monday or whatever, you know? But no hesitation whatsoever.
Oh, you said so many good things. Like when you have somebody in your life who has first-handedly seen your transformation, seen you grow into this like badass version of yourself, it's like people are so much more likely to support you when they actually see how transformative the work that you're doing is and like who you're becoming along the way. And you're always like, you do the work. Like you don't just say, I want to change my life, and then you don't do anything. It's like people are more inclined to support you because it's like, yeah, when I say I'm going to do this, I do it. When I say I'm going to change my life, I'm going to do it. When I say I'm going to change my mental, my physical health, my spiritual health, like I actually do it. And it's so much easier for most likely your dad to be supportive of you because it's like, she's doing it, like her life has changed and that's so inspiring. It's like I can't let her stop here. Like those new levels and new layers that she gets to step into. That was the first piece I wanted to say. And then I love you're like, I'll just find a way. Like that's the definition of a badass right there. You know, it's like I'll find a way. I'm going to get into the room. This is an opportunity that's going to expand me. It's like I can't afford to not go. And that's the definition of a badass right there. So I just wanted to reflect that back to you because you've already made a
Thank
massive
you.
badass move before even coming to the event.
Thank you, Lorna.
Of course. All right. Well, as we wrap up, is there any final things you want to share? Any last minute things?
Um, I was thinking of something, but I completely lost it now. What was it? Oh, you mentioned how I was making this big like changes and my dad was supporting me throughout like I've always kind of like just gone for it. I think I lost that a little bit, like in the last 5, maybe more years than that. But no, he like my family has supported me through so much, and like I haven't made it easy on them. Like I've moved abroad a couple of times, and so like my changes and my kind of plans for growth, like we were saying in the beginning, have always been like big swinging things, like
Yep.
moving abroad. But honestly, like and this question has been thrown at me a couple of times, like, didn't you weren't you scared, or didn't
Mm,
you don't you struggle? Because to this day they say, but because my whole family is not here.
yep.
They're in Mexico, you know?
Yep.
And so I'm like, no, like even the first time I moved abroad, I was 20, I believe. Um and that year I called it my master's in life because I had to figure things out. It was a very different world than it is today. And no, like I think it I think we forget. I think we begin moving instinctively and making these choices, and then life happens, and or people we start meeting people, and our perspective of the world shifts, and we stop listening
Mm,
to our voice. And I myself, like I'm at fault at that at times, and I need to like keep reminding myself of that. And right now, like in the past month or so, I would say I've been a lot more like intentional in listening to that voice, because
yep.
I think I lost touch of that, and I think that's super important. And I want to do more of that, and listening to that voice, and following like my dreams without like kind of putting the hesitation filter or like a fear
Yes.
filter
Yes.
has always taken me to the best experiences of my life. That's how I'm here. I'm still here, and I will continue to be here because now I don't have any boundaries.
Yeah.
So no, honestly, like I have no doubt in my mind that this event will be absolutely wonderful. And I honestly don't know what to expect because I haven't worked with you like one on one like I have with
Yeah.
Andrew, but I know you and I trust you, and I know it'll be mind-blowing and transformative and so powerful. And I think the biggest thing for me will be the connection piece, the being in the room, the just vibing off of other women, and just taking it in, and acting on all those learnings, and just like keep on keeping on that growth for
Yes.
myself and others, you know?
Okay, for everyone listening, if you come to this event, this is who you're going to be surrounding yourself with. Like, Galia is incredible. And she is somebody that it's like, okay, even if I have the fear, I'm going to do it anyways because this is my freaking life. Like, I'm not going to let fear get in the way. I'm not going to let hesitation get in the way. It's like, if I have a dream, I'm going to make it happen. And that's what you've done your whole life. That's what you've done even moving to Canada. It's like, I'm going to find a way how you ended up getting a ticket to the event. You're like, I'm going to figure it out, changing careers and all these things. You're like, I'm going to make it work. And that's why you are where you are today. So, for everyone listening, like these are the types of badasses that you're going to be surrounding yourself with. So, I am
Thank you, Lorna.
I'm so excited. I remember we met once in like the summer. Remember we went to that like Mexican restaurant? I
It
was trying
still
to,
exists.
oh, really? I was like
It's still
trying to
there.
find the photo of us together and I couldn't find it. I was like, I want to like, like be like, okay, we met then and now we're gonna meet in Florida. Like, oh my God, it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good.
Yeah, I'm very excited. And see you both again in person. It's gonna be
Yes,
wild.
I
What a treat to have you both in the same event, too.
know.
That's another thing.
Yes, not you're not just going to Andrew's event, okay? You're coming to mine and he will be guest speaking.
But still, it's such a treat. Like for anyone who hasn't worked with him, equally as a wonderful person, and motivational, and just like you guys have changed my life. I
Mm.
will. end it like that.
Wow. Wow. Well, you're the one that actually put in the work. It's like we can share all the tips and strategies, but it's like you're the one who wanted this. You're the one who actually showed up and put in the work. So we're equally as grateful for you as well too. But thank you for coming on. And again, just even coming on this was a badass move. And, thank you for sharing your heart and sharing, your decision to come to this event. And we're just really excited to see you in the room.
Oh, thank you. You
So,
make it easy to show up and yeah, you guys create such a safe space that it needs to be shared and honestly like whether it's been a week, a day, a month, a year, it only gets better and so yeah, I'm really thankful and yeah, I can't wait to see you guys.
yay!